every single thing we've done here should not go to waste. It should become practical. It should be something that will be in our life. This should be not like a khutbah we listen and we leave it 1 year and out. We need to make it practice, practice, practice. So one of the things, brothers and sisters, I want to share with you guys, a lot of people don't understand about dawah is like, what do you do after? Like explaining people to there's a God, He's one, He deserves to be worshipped, the Prophet is a prophet, and then just leaving him a vacuum is not dawah. Dawah is complete. Meaning you have to finish, like it's like, you know, when you sell as a salesman, you make the call, you ask the people, okay? And when people are rejecting it, don't just leave them. Ask them why. What's the issue? What's stopping them from being a Muslim? Like Sheikh Kamal Makki, who says, I don't say what you like about Islam. I say what you don't like. After they've agreed, yeah, there's a God. Yes, He's one. I believe in the Prophet ﷺ. I believe in the Quran. But I'm not going to take the Shahadah. So the question arises, well, if you agree, like one of the brothers was saying earlier, well, what's stopping you? So instead of asking, oh, okay, let me teach you about Salah, let me teach you about connection, ask him what you don't like about Islam. And let's say he says, well, I don't like the Islam, there was wars in history. Then we talk about that. Or someone says, well, I don't really like hijab. Then we talk about that. And then someone says, well, I don't have enough knowledge. Then we talk about that, right? Yes? So whatever the issue is, whatever the barrier it is, we need to remove those barriers out of the way. Like for example, someone says, I don't have enough knowledge. Like I said, one of the guys said to me, well, I'm reading Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim next. So what did I say? I haven't even read Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. No one's gonna have infinite amount of knowledge of Islam. No one is gonna know every single thing. So move the barriers out of the way. My mom will throw me out. Well, you don't have to tell your mom and dad then. First, learn your deen, understand why, and then you can go explain it to your parents. So move the barriers out of the way. If he says, oh, you know, my mom and dad, and say, look, on the day of Qiyamah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will question you, will not ask you about your mom and dad. Move the barriers out of the way. You guys understand? Very, very important. So, here's where we go. What's next? The final stage of the dawah conversation, if it reaches that stage, a formal invitation to them should be made. Lots of people don't even ask for Shahadah. There's one guy, he said, I was 25 years ago, I knew Islam was the truth. But nobody asked me to be a Muslim. Wallahi, this is true stories I'm telling you. I'm not making this stuff up. You have to ask. If they accept, okay, summarize, go wrap. Which is what? Show them that Islam is not something extremely overcomplicated and difficult. Because this is a misphenomenon we have in the Muslim community as well. Islam is very, very complicated, bro. No. In the basics of 5 pillars of Islam, even a 5-year-old can get it. 6 pillars of Iman, everyone can understand it. How depth it is, it's not important. So what would you tell them about Islam? This is what we need to really think about, okay? This is all in your notes, inshallah. A life that is pleasing to Allah because it's how God wants us to live. The best way to live is to live like a Muslim. Islam is not a religion. I'm going to say this loud. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a deen. It's a way of life. So if you don't hear me, okay? So Islam is not a religion, okay? So we want to live like a Muslim. 5 pillars of Islam, good characters, okay? What are the good characters? Speak the truth. Yes? Do you need me to stop? No? Okay. Speak the truth. Don't lie. Keep your promises. Fulfill your trust. Be just even against you, your own family, or yourself. Respect parents, especially in old age. Be a good neighbor. Encourage good and forbid evil. Simple stuff. It's already inside them. Okay? Summarize them what it is to be a Muslim. This is what it is to be a Muslim. That's it. It's very simple. Uh-oh, my clicker. Yeah, no problem. My IT slash marketing slash video slash guy. No, he's the marketing manager. Yeah, it worked. Or did that you? Okay, good. So, follow me, guys? Okay. Shahadah review. Accepting Islam should be an informed decision. What does that mean? Review the Shahadah so they know what the statement implies and entails. I've seen people take Shahadahs and they didn't even explain what Islam is. Some people are just in the game of just getting Shahadahs. People change religion like they change their clothes these days. I want to be a Buddhist. I want to be a new spiritualist. I want to be, whatever. Do you guys understand? This has become a thing. So explain to them what you're saying from your tongue, it has implications. So Shahada is to say from tongue, bring it to heart, show in the limbs. So review the Shahada so they understand the statement, what it means. What is the Shahada? A covenant, mean a contract with Allah to worship Him alone. This is the contract they're making. That to take the Prophet ﷺ as our example and a guide how to live a life that is pleasing to Allah. If you forget this, go back to your notes. My wife can send you, or my admin can send you more if you need. Make an invitation. So important. Many people have shown interest, but no one has ever invited them to be a Muslim. Remember, sincerity is key. Be sincere in wanting hidayah, guidance for them. Okay? Be sincere to yourself. You're doing it for Allah. Be sincere to them. Guidance is in hand of Allah. Our job is to last reminder again. Job is to convey, not convert. Our job is to just invite. If they do not accept, the dawah does not stop here. Stay in regular touch with them, even if it's once a month, once 3 months, every 2 weeks. Call them, take them out for coffees. Don't let them go just because they didn't accept it. Okay? Keep doing what you can, as long as you're not in harm's way. I'm not saying someone is trying to abuse you, attack you, and then be like, yeah, I want to still keep talking about Islam. No. Be wise, okay? So, if they do not accept the dawah, it doesn't stop. However, what I want to share with you guys, this is very important, even for the MSA. Guys, this is very important, brothers and sisters. I know Sheikh Tim Hembol was here yesterday, and he gave you this reminder. And I gave you this reminder. And I'm giving this reminder again. The sad situation is that 50 to 60% of the new Muslims leave Islam within a year or so. Why? Because there is no follow-up system. One of the things IRA is doing is not teaching dawah only. We are we are to help and support them after they become Muslim. Like the brother said, if they have shubhats, they have questions, we need to be there for them and help them. They have become our brothers and sisters in Islam. Our full attention goes to them. I've told all of the du'ats in all of the places that we work, if someone gets a shahada, that person no longer gives dawah that time or that day. What? If somebody becomes Muslim, you don't give dawah anymore? No, you don't, because your 100% focus stops and it becomes about that new Muslim. It's not about getting more shahadas. It's about focusing on your new brother in Islam. Dawah is not only to call to Islam, it's to establish support system, those accept Islam. Very important, brothers and sisters. Let me ask you a question. If 60% if you had a business and 60% of your customers were leaving, 60%, is that a good business or bad? Bad. What would you do if that problem were happening? You find out what's wrong, right? So we're finding out what's wrong is that we as Muslim community are letting them go. There's people in this masjid have accepted Islam and many people have not been followed up. We don't even need to go further, as the Sheikh was telling me privately. Okay? So we need to really think about this. So, I'm not going to do this scenario. One thing I do want to say It's a responsibility. So I'll just say this. After a lengthy discussion with John, after you invite him, he accepts Islam. John agrees. It's ready to take the Shahadah, alhamdulillah. Now he's a Muslim. Now it's time for you to think about your new Muslim's plan for John. What am I going to do with John? Oh, now I know where I got the word John from. Put a plan in place for John on his new journey as a Muslim. Also consider what type of advice would you give him, right? Here's one thing. The new Muslims, we want to be there. We want to help them. They are Muslims, our brothers in Islam now and sisters in Islam. We want to be there for them. And this is the advice I give them when they call me. Before you call me and say, hey, I lost my job. Hey, my mother is going to kick me out. Hey, my friends are leaving me. I have no one to turn to. Before you call me, I want you to make one call before me to someone else. Is to call Allah first. Make them connect with Allah through salah, through dhikr, understanding Islam, problem of evil and suffering, getting to understand this part. Once you've called Allah with your dua, then call me or any of our brothers and sisters. Go to the masjid. Take the means. Okay? So, very important to tell them to understand this. Okay, if I'm not around you. Get them to call Allah first, and then they call you. They don't call you first, and then they call Allah. It's not the other way around, okay? Very important. Focus on the shifts completely on the person. All dawahs stop. We talked about the advice. Welcome them to Islam. Take it gradually, step by step. Okay? Be prepared for the journey. Assure them that there's support. Okay? Other ideas, connecting them with a mentor to the masjid, staying regular contact with them and making dua for them. And again, I'm just dropping seeds right now. I'm not leaving Ottawa to left you hanging dry. That's not the point of me to come here. So you can, oh, he just did this fancy workshop and see you later. No, the point is we will give you more support. How to help new Muslims, we'll give you more support. How to continue the dawah. We will not leave you alone, inshallah. With whatever in means and power we have, we will help you so you can win and successfully share the message of Islam in this region. Okay? So do not think that, oh, I'm unreachable. Everything will be provided in whatever we can. Yes? Exactly. You remember yesterday we did the triangle? Ikhlas, concept, and then agreement, right? So it's not about just giving them dawah. You have to show actions. The Shahadateen is already built in Islam. Say the Shahada from your tongue means accept Islam. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Be honest, be truthful, have sidq, have fear, khashya of Allah, and bring that in your heart and then implement it on your limbs. Implementing in your limbs is you just can't talk the talk. You have to walk the walk. Okay? Welcome them. Okay, so other ideas, connecting them with the mentor. We did this. Develop their knowledge of understanding of Islam. This, you guys, the first thing we do is help a new Muslim with salah. Right after. We don't think about going to their shubahats and doubts and they have questions. Get them collected to Allah and they will have the necessary tools to solve their problems as they move along in Islam by learning. We support them, help them, answer their question. They don't know. If someone has a question and we don't have an answer, say, look, don't leave them. Say, we'll get you an answer. We'll call the sheikh. We'll call someone from IRA. We'll look wherever we can go to get you the answer you need. Don't leave them hanging. Okay. The point is that we need to move forward with helping the new Muslims. This masjid and many masajids around the country needs a support for new Muslim mentors. So we need a couple of brothers in here and a couple of sisters that are supporting new Muslim on a regular basis. And we will set up the structures. We will give you all of the necessary tools, a put together plan how to help new Muslims. All we need is for you to act and get the hasanat of calling people to Islam. And every time they pray, every time they do dhikr, every time they give sadaqah, every time they go to masjid, every good deed they do, you get the reward and they get the reward of it, right? So the Prophet ﷺ is saying what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is call in the way of your Lord, right? This is a command from Allah. He's talking to us directly. This matter of Islam. Now, IRA was founded on this hadith. This matter, Islam will reach wherever night and day reaches, and Allah will enter into every home, even that home was from mud, hair, by the might of those who are mighty, and disgrace those who are disgraced. With glory of Allah, glorifies Islam, and disgraces that He will disgrace disbelief with. So the summary of this, that Islam, Allah's messenger has spoken the truth. Islam is going to enter every home. This is not metaphorical. This means that every house will have a Muslim in it. If non-Muslims don't like this, I'm sorry. I'm not saying it. Allah and His messenger said it. So the question we need to ask ourselves, are we going to be part of this or are we going to sit on the side? That's the question you need. Do you want I was in Peterborough giving this class, and there's absolutely, I think, 1 or 2 people giving dawah, if even that. And I was saying to them, all these people in Peterborough and nobody's giving dawah. Don't you want 60, 100 or 200 years from now, there are Muslims that are in this place that are worshiping Allah, and you're getting the reward for it in your grave? Maybe there's more people in Peterborough that I know of. I just was talking about maybe the 15, 20 that I know. Anyway, the point is that what I want you to think about this. We need to be part of this process. We don't want to sit out. We don't want to miss the train. That's the point, okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will honor the people that will honor Islam. And Allah will dishonor the people that will dishonor Islam, okay? This is a guarantee from the Prophet ﷺ. So we need to put an action plan together, not just come to a 2-day workshop and leave, okay? This is what we're saying. You need to ask yourself, and we'll talk about this in 2 weeks from now when we get together. Think about these questions. What are the current dawah activities taking place in our locale? We have a team here, by the way, in the masjid here that are leading the dawah effort, okay? We have some of the du'ats here, some of the team leaders and different people from this that you guys can join. If not, you're already part of the MSA. You can join with the MSA. So, what current dawah activities are taking place in your locale? What dawah activities can we set up if nothing's happening? What would you need to set up these activities? We will provide everything you need. Dawah material, training, new Muslim support, booths, flyers, banners, copies of the Quran, everything you would need. All you just have to do is to make the effort. We will ship it out. We will pay for it. We will print it. Everything we will do. All we need is a commitment from you guys that you'll do the work. I don't know if we can make it any more easier than that. So we need to make a plan. That plan has to be smart. What does that mean? Strategic, okay, measurable, attainable, retainable, and time framed. Like it has to have time. Well, in 6 months, we'll go 6 times, okay? So hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. We don't have to hold you accountable. Allah will question you for this class that we've delivered for 2 days. Allah will ask you. People came from different parts of the country, traveled. You know, this class that we're delivering, the hotel, the plane, it's not a plane, the car ride, the gas, every single thing, it didn't come from the organization pocket. Do you know who paid for this? You guys did. The hard work of your effort. There are people that are driving taxis. that make maybe $5, $10, or $18 an hour, but they've donated with their hard-earned money. That's why we take dawah very seriously, because we have to hold ourselves accountable before Allah will hold us accountable. That what did we do with it? So hold yourself accountable. You will be questioned and responsible for this. That what did you do with this knowledge? Did you just go back and go to sleep, or did you act on it? Okay? Let's develop a plan, okay, and then work towards it. That's really it for today, brothers and sisters. We will see you in 2 weeks. We're going to do, the sisters are doing the names, and we're going to be doing certificates in a minute. Before we do that, let's just, as this finishing up, any questions relating the last 2 days of workshop, or any general questions? I want to learn Islam. What was that course you talked about? Who was the sheikh? How do we help new Muslims? What do we do here? What about this? Any question is open for whatever.
So,
yeah.
We see that some of the Anbiya gave da'wah to like the rulers of the countries that they were in. For example,
Perfect.
Musa alayhi salam. How would we as Muslims go about that?
Excellent. Excellent. Let me just share something with you. Can I just share this with you? Wallahi, my brothers and sisters, please hear me out on this one. Very important piece I'm about to tell you. Dawah is not done through weakness. Dawah is not done through weakness. Dawah is done through strength. When the Muslim Empire, let's say even the Ottoman Empire, the Muslim Empire, when they would do dawah, it was support. Look at the World Cup we had. Huge impact when the government supported it. When the Ottoman Empire would create du'ats, they would give them complete understanding of Islam, the fiqh, the sharia, the this, the that, and then they would send that person back to their community. Do you know what would happen? Villages and villages will become Muslim. The reason why there's many organizations that are successful, it's not just IRA, but why IRA is successful? Because we're working together as one body. Imagine hundreds and thousands of people working together, focusing on one thing, dawah. Yes, they have their life, they take care of their families, their children. Dawah is not done as a one-man show. It's not like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it on my own, I'm gonna have my YouTube channel, and I'm gonna have like 20 million followers. That's not dawah. That's just your ego sometimes. May Allah bless your dawah if that's happening for you. But the reality is we need to come together. That's why Allah say a group of you get together and rise up. Yeah? So the dawah is done through strength. Now back to the Ustad in the back. He said, the Prophet ﷺ's dawah was to the leaders. How many of you wrote letters to Justin Trudeau? How many of you wrote letters to your local MPs? How many of you, and called them to Islam through a letter? Put your hands up if you've done that. But that's the sunnah. The sunnah in the Prophet ﷺ wrote letters to all of the kings. Why? Are they going to fire you? They're going to throw you out if you call them to Tawheed? You have to ask yourself, are we doing dawah the right way? We need to take our dawah to be holistic. Not just standing on the corner handing out flyers. That's one part of dawah. Take your neighbors out for dinner. Ramadan is coming. Wallahi, everybody, as long as you're good with your neighbors, call them over for dinner. Call them to a masjid. Use every opportunity to do dawah, inshallah. Okay? Hope that helps and answers the brother's question and add to it. Yes, brother. Sorry, so there's an element for brotherhood, yeah?
Brotherhood and connection that is rarely found necessarily, or at least from my very short experience in here, rarely found in Canada. So how would you like us, or how is it done to how is connecting
Brothers and sisters,
the new Muslims done? So how should we connect them, in other words, to that brotherly feeling and
Jazakallah khair.
environment?
Excellent question. Thank you for asking. The brother asked, how do we connect the new Muslims with the brotherhood? Can I tell you something? Do you know they say that Europe, many people are becoming Muslim in Europe. Do you guys know that? Do you guys know that or not? Because dawah has been going on. Do you know when there's an organization, a dawah organization, that did a survey? They asked them, why did you become Muslim? Did you know what they said? Does anybody can tell it? What do you think about what could they say? Yes. Jazakallah khair. They said that nobody gave us dawah. We want to see Muslim the way they live. We want to be like them. We want to have friendship. We want to have relationship. Do you know how many people are in these apartment buildings around you? They never even talk to their neighbors. Do you know there are people that are dying in homes on their kitchen table and nobody even know they're dead? Silat al-Rahim. To care about your family, to care about your neighbors, to care about your friends. Do you guys understand? So that will be a great dawah as well. Any other questions? Any questions from the course? What to do next? Anything? Yes?
Wait. So are you trying to establish in Ottawa like a dawah booth
Yeah, why not? There's already dawah happening here
with IRA or
with
another-
IRA and other organizations.
Okay.
So one of the things we do in IRA, it's called the health check. So the health check is if somebody's doing dawah and they're doing a really good job, we try not to get involved with the dawah. And let's say if someone is not doing dawah at all, or they're doing it, there's some deficiency, then we get involved and we make the dawah more healthy. And if there's completely no dawah, like for example, some cities I go to, there's no dawah, then we establish a team. So in Ottawa, there's some dawah happening, but it just needs to be a little bit more. I said, how many people in Ottawa we said? 1 million. How many people need to give dawah?
10,000
10,000
minimum.
minimum. And we don't have 10,000. So if you guys all got along and started to give dawah, got involved and got dawah, it wouldn't take away from the other organizations. You would just add to it. You guys understand? Make sense?
So how would we basically join it then?
So we will set it up. You would join through iera.canada.ca. There's volunteer. I'll send you the link here. You guys can scan it. So I'm just going to go backwards. Sorry. And here we go. How to become a volunteer. So you would either scan that or go to our website, iera.ca. We just did it, Sheikh. You were downstairs. We did it. We did a whole new Muslim talk.